And welcome one and all to Dorrien Gardens for this round 14 women's NPL WA match between our hosts Perth Soccer Club and our visitors Murdoch University Melville. The captains just doing their pre-match duties with Livia Katona, who will be our on-field official. So is Spadano wearing the armband for Perth. The hosts, who will be looking to cement a position in the top four. They are currently 5 ahead of 5th place NTC, while our visitors Murdoch University Melville find themselves 7 points behind Balcatta after their heavy defeat to Perth Red Star yesterday. Balcatta, of course, in that 4th place position that Murdoch will be eyeing off for the rest of the season. The top of the table is a long, long way away for both these sides. Perth Red Star have set an absolutely ridiculous pace, winning every single one of their 13 games to this point. Charlie Wainwright, the Murdoch skipper, breaking their huddle first. A really big game for these two sides as we near the business end of the season. As I say, a win for Murdoch, the reigning champions, could see them narrow that gap on 4th spot to just 4 points. And from there, it could be anyone's ball game. A loss here, and it may just be a little bit too much to overcome. The Azuri will be kicking us off. Perth kicking to the the left of screen, lining up on the right. And Murdoch University Melville in their white shirt, black shorts with the red trim will be attacking to the right of your screen. Thank you for joining us wherever you're watching on NPL.tv. I'm Sean Fry. I'll be calling the 90 minutes plus stoppage time for you this afternoon as Perth look to make the first attack of the day, but the pass is overhit. It will be scooped up by the Mum FC goalkeeper. One in the air by Liana Cook. Faye Phillips drops it back to Rebecca Bennett, wearing the gloves for Perth Soccer Club. Finds it. Pass through the middle. That's Emma McMurdo, who comes out to the near side, but her teammates lose touch, turns over possession. Samantha Mathers will take the throw in after the referee finds her a ball that is suitably pumped. A bare bones squad, if you can see it in front of the thrower there for Murdoch University Melville. The 3 substitutes, Alexis Townsend, Pearl Ekbote and Mako Kant, all playing the game before this and having to come now take their seats on the bench. Perth with a 3-woman bench as well, with Nadia Harvey, Maya Spatafor and Jess Byrne riding the pine at this stage. Not pine here at Dorrien Gardens when they're out on the pitch, on the plastic chairs of course, but you know what I mean. Good turnover high up the pitch and a chance for Murdoch to produce the first real scoring opportunity of the match. They can't do so because they turn it over to Faye Phillips, who cleared. Scuffle in midfield, and trying to come away with it for Perth was Jamie Duncanson, their leading goal scorer in the league with 8 goals. She couldn't do that, and Murdoch take it away and drop it all the way back to Monique Todd in goals. Some nice footwork through the middle for Murdoch. The attempted releasing pass was looking for Sophia Neal, didn't reach her, but still Mum FC push forward. Perth take it away, nice little 1-2 with Ella Lincoln and a teammate, and Ella can stride forward under a bit of pressure, rolls it beautifully through. First chance of the day, and that's great goalkeeping. Monique Todd coming out quickly off her line to smother the chance. We remain knotted at 0-0. Courtney Buttline with the first real opportunity, but in the end it wasn't an opportunity because the Murdoch goalkeeper was out so quickly. Good defensive work in the middle from Faye Phillips. She's cut out a few chances already in the opening minutes here. This is Lincoln, giving for Meekins. Meekins, great ball from Abby Meekins. And a real chance for Perth here to open the scoring off the bar. Another chance, just wide. Perth knocking on the door, good start for the hosts. It was the post, not the bar, of course. That's my first mistake of the day, hopefully my last. Give you the tip, it probably won't be. Todd restarts for Murdoch. Looking for Strickling. Her touch was a little heavy. Acrobatic Sophia Neal effort, couldn't rein it in. Liana Cook with the ball in her hands. Bit of head tennis between the girls, and away comes with the ball Charlie Wainwright. If Murdoch University Melville will be getting anything out of this game, you're going to expect her to have a big one. Certainly their most influential midfielder. One of the top players in the league, in my opinion. Turnover on the far side. One back and one back well by Zoe Spadano. Now Perth can move forward. Buttline drops it back. And now charging down the wing, here's Liana Cook. If she can keep it in, she just can't get there. Perth Soccer Club nil, Murdoch University Melville nil in the early stages in this round 14 match. As I mentioned in the intro, a big one for both of these sides. For Perth to cement a spot in the top four, and for Murdoch to keep the dream alive for the top four. Last year's champions, of course, a mass exodus with players going to different leagues, going over east, and then losing their gold medalist from last year, Tia Stonehill, to a really tragic injury in the pre-season. So not an easy job for Luke Thompson. Certainly was never going to be able to keep the side playing like they were last year, winning as many games as they did, with probably 70-80% of the first choice players from last year leaving. But they still have quality enough to get the job done this afternoon, certainly. Buttline rolls it for a very willing runner on that right wing. Slices it back across the box. Come in again and fire one over the crossbar. Jamie Duncanson looking lively there. Todd with the goal kick over the head of Duncanson. Oh, Strickling, rather. Won by Van Hurek, and now Alyssa Van Hurek gets back and wins the ball just on the edge of her 18-yard box. Back for Bennett. Buttline. Murdoch coming away with it despite the best efforts of Judy Connolly. Neal looked to thread it into the path of Strickling, but She has to track out wide, a chance, and the opener, it's unfortunate. It's going to go down as an own goal to Rebecca Bennett, but the hard work was done. They certainly deserved it for the cross and header. Andrea Priato getting in there, heading it just about on target, off the underside of the crossbar, ricocheted back, I believe, off the Perth goalkeeper. Nothing she could do about it. Before she knew it, it had come back off her and into her own goal. Perth Soccer Club 0, Murdoch University Melville 1. The assistant referee's flag is up. An offside infringement for Perth. Well, just the start that the visitors wanted. They've got that early goal. Brought down well on the far side. Then winning a free kick for her efforts there. Free kick right on halfway. Good driving run and looking to double their lead. Unable to find a meaningful cross. Perth defence stands strong. That's a beautiful pass into Meekins. Meekins rolls out and finds Van Hurek. Cook. Under pressure from Priato, the creator of the goal. McMurdo's first time ball only onto the head of the Murdoch defenders. Emma McMurdo getting some criticism from her own bench there, not moving the ball fast enough. Courtney Butt-Lyon, the target here. She'll get there first, ahead of Holzman. Loses out in the end. Perth throw, trailing by a goal. Shows the fine margins in football, doesn't it, Perth? Rattle one off the post. And then minutes later, Mum FC rattle one off the bar with the deflection. Brings it back off a Perth player and into the back of the net. Could so easily be 1-0 either way. As it is, and is the visitors with the lead. A lead that brings them back as it stands to just 4 points behind fourth spot. Good driving run from Emma McMurdo was halted, and halted illegally in the eyes of the referee. We've spoken a lot about referees this week with the alleged assault last weekend on one of WA's young up-and-coming referees. I mentioned it in the Friday match I called and yesterday down at Coburn Inglewood, but it does bear repeating that we can all do better in the way that we talk to and treat and respect the officials in our game. It is a sport with a worldwide reputation for being quite poor in that area. The women's game, it is not so much of a problem, of course. They tend to be a lot better behaved than the men and show that referees respect accordingly, but it doesn't mean it isn't an issue at all. I was down at a Murdoch game last year against the Northern Redbacks, they were at the time, and Stephen Knight copped a fair bit of abuse on that day, and he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. The most disappointing thing about that was it was immediately after he'd apologised. It was an honest mistake, a simple mistake, blowing up just a little bit before the advantage developed for Murdoch. It was not the lovely Luke, of course, leading the side on that day, but the coaching staff certainly gave Stephen Knight a fair bit of abuse and was very distasteful. I called it out at the time, and I'll call it out whenever it happens. So while it isn't a huge issue, as I said in the women's game, it's still always something that can happen. And to anyone listening at the board level of any club, if your club does not have an issue at all and always treats their referees with respect, then I congratulate you. But I would suggest that while the discussion is happening, maybe now is the time to put in policies to make sure it never creeps into your club. Set the standard, set it early, let everyone know that it won't be tolerated. Because I love this game and it can't go ahead without its officials. Clearance down the line, out for a Perth throw. Liana Cook takes it. Meakin's touch, too strong. Oh, lovely little bit of footwork there from Sophia Neal. She looked to get it back. Great football here from the Mum FC number 11. She just can't curl it, pass around there into the path of Priato. Van Hurk. Oh, poor clearance there. Spadano just about gifting away possession. Got lucky that the ball came back to her in the end. Did better with the second effort. Here's Judy Connolly, ex-NTC star. Beautiful pass, just about cut out. Great defending to make sure that didn't get onto the boot of Abby Meakins. We know she can be lethal coming forward from midfield. Perth's second leading scorer with 5. And Neal rumbles forward and gives it away. Not a lot of time for Ella Lincoln, but she was cool and composed. And Cook drops it back for Van Hurk. Perth centre halves share it around. I don't think getting the pass or getting the angles that she wanted, Alyssa Van Hurk, she had to hold possession, and in the end, pass it to a Murdoch shirt. No harm done though as Perth maintained possession, at least initially. Buttline's touch too strong. Allows Lucy Hope in, who gives it away in kind. Spadano drops the shoulder and looks to go forward. Still Zoe Spadano's going to charge on down the right wing. Great run from the Perth number 6. Looking to take on her opponent. Gets one into the box. Headed away well at the back post by the Murdoch defender. And she'll come out and look to make another tackle. This time it goes through the legs of Mathers. Good header initially from Samantha Mathers to clear the danger. Beaten on that occasion, and Perth remain in possession. McMurdo for Cook. Cook's pass is sliced. And she's fortunate that Megan Holzman was unable to control the spinning ball kicking up off the turf. And the diagonal from McMurdo was under hit. Holzman can't get there. Lovely footwork there from Jamie Duncanson. Little step over, completely wrong footing her opponent. Perth now starting to maintain possession of the ball. Good touch to kill the ball there. I don't know how much she knew about it. Ella Lincoln. And Meekins gets a toe in to take it away from Charlie Wainwright. But Lyons didn't get her head up and look what her teammate was asking for. Duncanson wanted it short. But Lyon went long. And the result is Murdoch possession. Lucy Hope. Plenty of time. No press on from Perth at the moment, although they are in a very, very high starting position. Almost all the players up on halfway, which means there's a lot of space in behind like this. Meaden, in the end, has to check back. Priato, back to Wainwright. We know she can pick a pass. Neal. Back for Wainwright. Couldn't pick one on that occasion. The little clip over the top. Too strong for its intended recipient. Mathers comes away for Murdoch, looking for the 1-2. And that's overhit. Been an entertaining opening stanza to this one, but few clear-cut chances. A couple of balls into the box from Perth, and one that they rang off the post was as close as they came. The chance that Murdoch created, probably their only effort on goal. The header was a little high, crashed back off the crossbar. But they were fortunate enough that it ricocheted back again off the goalkeeper and into the net. Perth just maintaining possession at the end. Spadano's long ball just about cut out there by the outstretched leg of Elise Shaw. Oh, good tackle there from Duncanson, and she strides forward before whipping it out to Lincoln. Lincoln looks to turn under pressure from Mathers. And the ball forward claimed by Monique Todd. Rolls it out, wants to get things started quickly. They rush it a little bit too much there, and Duncanson turns her opponent. She might set her sights on goal here, Jamie Duncanson, and might wish now that she hadn't. The clearance was rushed. The ball to the back post. In the end, ricochets off the defender, I believe. No, off the attacker for a goal kick. Emma McMurdo had to leave the field of play for some reason or another. She's back now. She'll be involved here, getting the touch ahead of her opposite number. On an early sub with two sides that don't have many substitutes from. It'll be Maya Spatafor. Coming on, Faye Phillips. Not sure whether that's an injury concern or a tactical change, but Maya Spatafor is on the field for Perth, who are down to just the two substitutes left now, with a good chunk of this game remaining. Bit of a dispute about the throw-in. Difficult one for both referees to see. I always think in those situations, if players were just honest, we'd never have that issue. Duncanson strikes well straight at the goalkeeper. Misjudged there by Andrea Priato. Just sold Connolly a little bit short with the pass. Lack of communication, the issue according to the Perth bench. Wanting the team to be talking more, and that's not going to make him any happier. It's given away to Holzman. She can cut inside. Tracking back and winning that final ball there. It was Maya Spatafor, the substitute. Spadano drives forward. Connolly, great ball from Judy Connolly for the runner Duncanson. Buttline arriving in the box. Lincoln at the back post. Duncanson has to hold it up and drop it back. Still time to get a ball in to a good area. It is in. A little bit too close to the Murdoch goalkeeper who claims. Todd Long. Oh, missed clearance there from the Perth skipper. Opens the door, but she tracks back well. Robs Megan Holzman before she can get a shot off. Connolly offers in the middle. It comes more central. Nudged off the ball. And in the referee's eyes, in the back. That was McMurdo, who thumps it to the goalkeeper and turns it over straight away. Neil gets there before Connolly, but just pokes it over for Buttline for Perth. Cook. Duncanson looked up once and saw that Lincoln was thinking about a run. And then by the time she looked down at the ball and played it, Lincoln had changed her mind. Duncanson robbed the possession by Wainwright. Nice touch initially by Neil, but ran out of space. Wainwright comes away with it. This is Meaden. Rolling it wide for sure, but it's a poor pass. Likewise from Perth, trying to make them pay for it. A little bit sloppy in midfield, both these sides so far this afternoon. There you go, Perth driving forward, although the final ball again lets them down. Connolly. Lincoln. Mathers sees it out. Looking like it is an injury concern for Faye Phillips as she gets her ankle iced up. not what you want when you're pretty threadbare on the bench to start the game. Not a lot of options now if things need changing. Connolly spreads it wide, but Lyon can't make it stick, but Connolly battles on for Perth. And hitting it on the swivel was McMurdo, but not catching it the way she wanted. Shaw with the throw. Perth win it back, but turn it over straight away, and Murdoch return the favour. Cook. Connolly looking to turn it back for Cook. Just a little strong there. The touch from Neil. Perth looking to erase the deficit before half-time. Given to Murdoch by a fortuitous own goal by Rebecca Bennett. And here it comes back for Spadano, who fizzes it into Duncanson. Not her best effort, but it'll work out for Perth. But Lyon turns it in. Good stretch from Duncanson to keep possession. Just needed that final run, perhaps needing Lincoln to read the build up there and get across. Duncanson battling. Hacked clear by Schubert. Ball crosses the line for a Murdoch throw in there. Defensive third. In the box, but no blue shirts arriving. It's turnover after turnover at the moment. We're about 25 yards out from the Murdoch goal. Perth knocking on the door, unable to find a way through as of yet. Duncanson shifts it out to the right wing, and she's going to want it back. She'll get it back, Jamie Duncanson. Clips it across the 6-yard box. Chance as the two players collide. The decision will be a corner. Another difficult one to call. Two players crashing in, winning the ball what looked simultaneously. The decision has gone the host's way. Approaching the final 10 minutes of the first half. Perth leading, or trailing rather, by that Rebecca Bennett own goal. Cook back for Van Hurek. Spadano. Good touch from McMurdo. Goes by a couple, still going in, and McMurdo looked to roll the ball to a teammate. I think didn't get a good touch on the ball. Great spin and turn there from Duncanson. She fizzes one across, but again, straight at the goalkeeper. Had a bit to do, Monique Todd, but everything she's been asked to do, she would expect to do comfortably. Thumping that one along onto the head of Sophia Neal. Comes off the contents at the contest, and Van Hurek picks it up. Spadano had a charging Murdoch player, read it really well, and away she goes, Zoe Spadano. She creates something from here to be a heck of a goal that she would have created, but it looked like both players just switched off. Buttline and Duncanson right at the crucial moment. Cook wins another one in the air, but at ground level, Wainwright takes it the other way. Holzman couldn't control, but Murdoch will have a throw. Mathers ball finds a teammate who just about keeps it in under pressure from Liana Cook. Mathers. Headed on by Neal. Good battle over there between Buttline and her defender, Elise Shaw. Spadano clears. Only as far as Shaw. She finds herself under pressure from Buttline, who can't take the ball off her. Tenacious work there from Shaw, who goes to ground, doesn't get a decision. Perth carried away. Van Hurek comes inside and overcommitted Strickling. The chipped pass there from McMurdo, too strong. I think that was an occasion where it was a wrong decision, just the execution wasn't quite right. Good ball there. Strickling can't make anything of it. A lot of space out on this left-hand side if they can get it out to Liana Cook. Bring it out this way and then back central for Duncanson. Cook will pick it up now. Murdoch pressing high up the pitch, all the way up to the edge of their Perth 18-yard box. Having to retreat now as Van Hurek drives forward, and that is an aimless ball to no one, really. There were no runners heading down that left touch line. I'm not sure what the Perth centre-half saw. Nice little dummy from Sophia Neal. Still she goes away from Meekins and Duncanson. hard to split these teams on what we've seen so far. Slightly fortuitous own goal, the only difference between these two sides. The builds up and the cross and the header were great, of course. It's only the ricochet, really, that Mum FC can count themselves lucky about. Did well to create the opportunity. And they lead by that opportunity. Perth, 0. Murdoch University, Melville, 1. Bit of a miscontrol on the far side. Gives Perth a throw. High Perth press, forcing the turnover. Just over 5 minutes left in this first half. An important lead for the visitors. Mentioned it a few times that if they can hang on, they'll be just 4 points behind 4th spot. I believe Perth play Balcatta next week, which the visitors today will be hoping Perth can do them a favour next week. I could see that gap close to as little as 1 point. While the title looks a foregone conclusion, the battle for those top 4 spots will continue. The last chance of silverware for these clubs, that top 4 cup. Perth would love to cement their 2nd or 3rd spot rather than 4th, so they can avoid Red Star in the first round. You'll probably have to beat them eventually, of course. Here's Perth going forward, creating another chance and another comfortable save for Todd. Spadano. Connolly. Cook. Centre halves share it between themselves. 4 or 5 passes back and forth. And eventually, Spadano sees something she likes and completely muffs the kick. Mathers gets it back from Neil. Schubert mops up from the mistake. She'll be asked to go again. She crashes in late on Butt Lyon and gives away the free kick. Easy enough decision there for Livia Katona. Free kick taken quickly. Cook. Ball into the box. Straight at the keeper again. Just that final third execution continues to let Perth down this afternoon. Oh, good run and a good touch here. Chance to perhaps lay one off. Surely the option there was the run of Nikita Strickling. in the end takes a shot from the best part of 25 yards. Doesn't catch Rebecca Bennett out. Butlane comes away with it. Charging forward, showing a bit of pace. Duncanson has a couple of runners. One of them's Meekins. She scuffs the shot. Chance on the turn. The toe poke comes eventually from Ella Lincoln. It was a well-worked chance from Perth. But in the end, like all their other shots have been, it was straight at the Mum FC goalkeeper. Cook gives it away, but gets it straight back. Buttline for Meekins. Has Duncanson wide. And uses her now. Duncanson one way, then the other. Beats her opponent, all ends up. Clearance comes back out. Cook can't make anything happen. Meekins picks it up, gets a little shove. Just enough to draw the foul. Good position here for a set piece for Perth late in this first half. As we head into stoppage time, can Perth erase that 1-goal deficit? Ball smashed in low and hard. Cleared, but only partially. It'll come back in. Duncanson looked offside. It won't matter. Todd's goal kick finds Neal. Connolly steals it for Perth. Drops back for Van Huriku. Shaped to go back, in the end cut inside. Slightly unconvincingly, found its way to McMurdo, and there is the final whistle of the first half. An entertaining first half, but slightly error-riddled. Both sides looking a little leggy. And the goal came after Perth had hit the left-hand post at one end, and mere minutes later, Mum FC streamed forward to the right. A cross came in, and Andrea Preato rose highest to win the header, which almost found its way into the net directly, crashed back off the underside of the crossbar and deflected back off the Perth goalkeeper Rebecca Bennett into the net for the only goal so far of the first half. At half-time it is Perth Soccer Club 0, Murdoch University Melville 1. We'll be back after a short break. Marion Gardens for the second half. Perth Soccer Club taking on Murdoch University Melville. The visitors currently leading by 1 own goal to 0. And as things stand, Murdoch University Melville 4 points off the final spot in the top 4. And Perth Soccer Club remain just 6 points ahead of the NTC in 5th. Still plenty of time to play here, and if Perth can turn things around and get the win, you would think extending that buffer to 9 points would put them just about safe. Obviously, they still have to turn up each week and do the job, but a 9-point lead at this stage of the season over 5th spot would be just about job done in terms of playing off in the finals for the top 4 cup. Mum FC looking to gun down that final 4th spot and take it away from what is currently Balcatta. Perth play Balcatta next week, as I mentioned earlier, so the sides doing battle, well, the visiting side doing battle today will be hoping for a favour from their combatants next week. They'll be hoping for a second goal here, and the pass in was just behind the run of Megan Holzman. And Charlotte Meaden can't get across in. Jamie Duncanson looking the most lively, the most dangerous probably for Perth in that first half. She's out in this right-hand touchline right in front of us. Judy Connolly was getting involved in midfield, but they'd probably want to get a little bit more of her on the ball. Asking for it short from her captain. The captain ignores that option and goes across for Van Hurk. Meekins back for Spadano. There's a player on this right-hand touchline and looks for her now. That is Maya Spatafor. Came on as a substitute in the first half to replace the injured Faye Phillips, who sits with her ankle strapped on the Perth bench. Chipped over the top, beautiful ball for Duncanson to get on the end of. Has options in the box. And the cross from Emma McMurdo straight at Monique Todd. Again, she's almost had magnets in her gloves today. Every crosser, every shot that Perth have taken have been straight at the Mum FC shot stopper. She hasn't had any difficult saves to make. She may have to make one now, although the pass is just too heavy for Duncanson. She did have one big save to make actually in the first half. Now that I think of it, the ball was rolled through for Courtney. I've been informed by reliable sources that the pronunciation is Butt-Lion and not Butt-Lion, so I will go with that for the remainder of this match. The ball was rolled through for Courtney Butt-Lion, and Monique Todd came out and spread herself off her line quickly and smothered the shot from the Perth striker. Well won by McMurdo. Or Neil, rather. Second mistake of the day. Wrong number 11. Murdoch player in some discomfort out on the far touchline by the looks of things. Having a little trouble getting back to her feet. Now, I think just sorting out the socks and shin pads. After a short break, we'll get going. Thank you for joining us on NPL.tv in the West, wherever you are watching. If you are in the West, or the rest of Australia, or even internationally. I know we have a few friends, family and fans that watch from overseas, so whoever you are, wherever you are, we appreciate having you here. I'm Sean Fry. I'll be calling the Final 45 minutes plus whatever the on-field referee, Livia Katona, deems necessary to add for injuries and stoppages in this second half. It's currently Perth Soccer Club 0, Murdoch University, Melville 1. Duncanson for Butlin. Spatafor, good pass back for Butlin. Looks to take on the defender. Loses out. And that clearance ricochets off Duncanson and out for a Murdoch throw. Thumped up in the air by McMurdo. Headed down by Butlin, but mopped up by Shaw for Mum FC. They turn it over. There's been a lot of that in this game. Duncanson trying to force it down the line. Cut out by Shaw. It'll be a Perth throw. Spatafor will take. It looks like there's a bit of action on the Murdoch bench. Alexis Townsend getting ready. Duncanson tries to fizz one in. Comes via a defender's boot for Butlin. Back for McMurdo. Shifts it out to the left wing. Cutting inside and thinking about a shot there. But not taking it in the end, Liana Cook. And I think we will have that substitution now. Perth also asking for a substitution. So Alexis Townsend on for the visitors. And it looks like Nadia Harvey on for the hosts. It's going to be a little bit of a reshuffle and I think a swapping of the wingers. Jamie Duncanson heading over to the left, Liana Cook coming out to the right. We'll see what the Perth bench have seen there. Nadia Harvey's first contribution will be this throw-in. So the assumption will be she's taking over at left back. Strickling gives it away to her opposing number, Duncanson. Mum FC will win the throw back. Cook. Butlin cushions it down. Meekins gets there. Chance for Cook. Great save. Back across. Cook again over the top. Well, I've been saying all day Monique Todd has had very little to do by way of difficult saves. She was certainly called into action there. Sprawling fingertip save to turn that one around the post, or almost around the post. The Perth attack carried on and the cross came back to Liana Cook, who had the initial shot. And then her diving header, just a little awkward for her to keep that one down. Murdoch University, Melville breathe a sigh of relief. That was as close as Perth have come. That little shuffle that Perth have made, the changing of the wingers, almost having an immediate effect. And that ball won't get to Liana Cook, but she hustles to get there herself. Great battle from the Perth number 7. Ball over the top for Connolly. If she can get there, she can't quite keep it in. Well, what a save that was from Monique Todd. Preserving the clean sheet, preserving that 1-goal lead. Mathers. Long for Neal. Bit of work to do, opposed to the substitute Harvey. Nadia Harvey comes away with it. Meekins will take her time, drop it back for Van Hurek, over across to Spadano. So, by my records, just the one sub left on the Perth bench, and that is Jess Byrne. Liana Cook fields that one just inside the field of play. Good ball across! And the sprawling header from Duncanson with an empty goal to aim for. He's just wide of the far post. A misjudgment perhaps from Todd to come for that ball, but she gets away with it. Perth looking dangerous, really knocking on the door now. Huge 3 points up for grabs from both sides. Van Hurek. Cook. Van Hurek drops the shoulder. Spadano. Cook makes a run. Spadano comes short to Connolly instead. Oh, a mistake at the back here from Perth. And a chance for Holzman, who finds Bennett off her line, but she retreats well. And makes a diving save. It was a good effort from that range. And in the end, good save from the recovering Rebecca Bennett. Good saves at both ends. Keeping this at Perth 0, Mum FC 1. Cross. Not at all what Murdoch were looking for. Straight out of play for a Perth goal kick. Oh, dangerous pass again. Perth playing with a little bit of fire at the back. Meekins just about gets away with the ball. And Cook looking to make the diagonal run. They go on the other side instead for Duncanson. Flag stays down. Ball across. Cook, another chance. Cook drops it off for Butley, and her left-footed effort is skewed well wide. Well, that was a delightful counter-attack from Perth. A little layoff from Liana Cook. I thought perhaps she could have taken the shot on herself. Well, I'm not sure if her striker was expecting it. I certainly wasn't, and perhaps if she was a little bit more switched on than me, may have found the shot a little easier, but snatched at it in the end. It was a great pass from Liana Cook, but it was right on the penalty spot. She'll be thinking now maybe she should have taken it on, I'm sure. Here she is again, Liana Cook. Growing in influence in this game. Have to say, since her move to the right, she's been involved in a lot of dangerous forays forward for Perth, and the referee judging the high boot there going against Perth. Looked a pretty straightforward decision. Meekins turns and rolls it on for McMurdo. For Connolly. Now for the rampaging Harvey. Has to halt that rampage and come back to her skipper. Spatter falls on the near touchline. Ball over the top is in a dangerous area. The flag does go up. McMurdo perhaps just going a little early. But another hearts in mouths moment for the visitors. Perth will feel very hard done by if they don't find a goal by the end of this 90 minutes. Certainly in this second half, they've pushed and pressed. First half, the final ball was a real problem. Second half, they've created and started finding that final ball. The final substitution from Perth just being ready now. Jess Byrne up and stripped off on the touchline. Ready to see if she can come on and make the difference here. Attempt to turn this losing position they find themselves in into something better. Murdoch still looking to double their lead though. Here goes Holzman, still going, and then ran into an absolute brick wall in the shape of Alyssa Van Hurk. Perth centre half takes her time and then just about passes it straight past the Murdoch attacker. They've turned it over needlessly on the far side. That was sloppy. Neal equally so with the final ball. Bennett. Looking for Duncanson, not finding it. Just starting to look a little shaky in midfield and at the back now Perth, but here they go on the counter-attack. McMurdo. Cook wants it back down the line. Via a deflection, and here will come that Perth substitution. Courtney Butley has done the last of her duties for this afternoon. Jess Byrne will take her place. Although not in terms of formation by the looks of things. Another reshuffle from Perth Soccer Club as they look to salvage something from this losing position. I'll try and figure out the shape when I can. Spatter 4. First of the 3 substitutions Perth have used so far. That ball from Meekins, much too heavy. So it looks like the skipper will be leading the line for the final stages, perhaps. No, she's jogging back. Tough one. He's thrown me some curveballs. Judy Connolly, the highest of the Perth players at the moment. Zoe Spadano just behind her in the hole. Here is Connolly dropping in short. She does that so well. That could be almost a false 9 roll for her in the dying stages. Battling on well there and not making it easy for Murdoch to get out. They turn it over. McMurdo does just enough. Perth keep the ball. Spatafor in a lot of space over here on the right touch line. If it came direct, it's come via Van Hurek, and her pass is ill-directed. Spatafor's going to have to track back and gather the ball herself. Oh, a rash tackle there. And the first card of the day, surely. Will go the way of Perth's Jamie Duncanson. Never looked favourite to win that ball, but halted a promising attack. I don't think she or her team will be too disappointed in the booking. Ball into a good area and just misjudged at the last second by Nikita Strickling. She had a chance there. Just looked to have taken her eye off it at the last moment. This will be a Perth throw. Front three of Duncanson, Connolly and Cook. Jess Byrne has come onto centre half to allow Zoe Spadano to push further forward. And that was just a good piece of intelligent football from Megan Holzman to get her body in the way, draw the foul. Liana Cook does well to win it and find Connolly. Continues to drop deep from that high up position. Almost rotating through with Abby Meekins the furthest forward now through the centre. Just swarming the blue shirts now. Not making anything easy for Mum FC, but they work this really well. But that high line, the high press, continues to turn the ball over. And that gets hard at this stage in the game. Perth with the absolute lion's share of possession in these last 10-15 minutes. Murdoch cannot get a foot on the ball. Cook. McMurdo. Lovely ball from McMurdo. Back for Connolly. Judy Connolly fires as it blocked. Heavy touch there from Strickling, who had to dive in. Spadano in that more advanced role does well to hold off a challenge. Rides it and gets up. Good football. Cook looked to give it back to her. And that one runs over the touchline. The flag is up. It will be a Murdoch throw. Cook. Spadano. Jess Byrne, I can hear on complaining a bit to the referee. She has a bit of a reputation for that, must be said. And in a game with very little back chat and bickering, it's not very nice to see. Got a bit of defending to do now, Jess Byrne. She will get there first and play it back to Van Herk. Meekins. Connolly. Certainly something that Murdoch has done well is keep Judy Connolly quiet in this game. She's had her influence, but not as much as she would have liked. Looking to exert her own influence on the game now. Jamie Duncanson firing from range. A dribbler in the end, straight at Todd. And Todd's clearance is shanked out into touch. Spatter for Cook, growing into this second half. Liana Cook. Just nowhere for Murdoch to go when they do get the ball. Byrne mops up. Gets it back. Jeez, a teammate sold her into trouble there. Fizzed it back into her ankles. Good driving run here from Neal. Neal gets a shot away and Bennett claims. Connolly using her small frame well. Winning the free kick against a bigger opponent. Something she does so well. So nimble, agile on the ball. Stronger than she looks. Cook. Moves it down. It'll come out for Spatter for her cross. Just gives the keeper something to think about. Headed back across. Meekins follows it up. And there's the equaliser, but the flag is up. The flag is up. It will not count. It was for the first header back. Certainly not one that I could see from here. Not an offside. A goal kick. The ball had crossed the line before it was headed back across goal for Meekins to follow it in. That's one I can see even less well from here. Header straight down for Connolly. Meekins. Still Perth. Fight away. Cook won't get there. Keeper misjudges, cleared from the 6-yard box behind for a Perth corner. Well, what more do they have to do? They have one crossed the line by what can't have been more than centimetres before being bundled in by Meekins. They have that one cleared out of the 6-yard box after a misjudgment from the goalkeeper. The goal that they are behind by ricocheted back off the bar, off the goalkeeper. They must feel hard done by, but there is still time for them to turn it around. And Murdoch continue to battle and defend to the best of their ability. And at this stage, the sheet is still clean. Still plenty of time to go here as well. This game's really livened up in the second half. Meekins picks that one up. Cook's going to have a chance here. She's through, one-on-one. Liana Cook around the goalkeeper, can't do it. Todd comes up big again. Two massive interventions from the Murdoch University Melville goalkeeper in this second half. If they come away with the 3 points, it almost suggests she's the player of the match. Harvey. Spadano Back to Van Hurek and out for Byrne. Has Spatterfor on the touchline and doesn't find it. Spadano. Lovely pass from Spadano for Cook. Cook finds Connolly. Taken off her boot. Murdoch can look to spring a counter. Meekins battling away. Can't take it. Off of Strickling. Wainwright draws the foul. She's had a quiet afternoon, Charlie Wainwright. But she won't mind if the score stays as it is. Perth Soccer Club 0, Murdoch University Melville 1. We're in the final quarter of an hour here at Dorrien Gardens. Beautiful afternoon in Perth. The shadows start to stretch across the pitch. She's won back well by Liana Cook, and look at her go. Off for Connolly, back for Spadano. Does well to keep it and find McMurdo. Back to Cook. Cook, another chance, and another wonderful save from Monique Todd. Well, I don't want to call it too soon, but this is Todd's afternoon so far. Had plenty of chances to get her eye in the first half with a lot of dribblers, a lot of scuffed shots, a lot of easy saves. This second half, it has been anything but easy for Monique Todd, but she's made it look so. Everything she has been asked to do, she has done with aplomb. And Perth continue to wonder what they have to do to beat Mum FC's number 1. Strickling. Byrne can't get there ahead of Townsend. On this occasion does get there ahead of Townsend. Byrne back for Spatterfor. Back for Bennett, who is finding it a little boring in the Perth goal at the moment, I'm sure. Very little to do in this second half. But may need to be alert here. Rare sustained spell of possession in this second half for Murdoch, but as I say that, they turn it over. Won back really well by the skipper, Wainwright. Wanted it back from Holzman, but just didn't give Holzman the ball to deliver it. Throw in going Murdoch's way. Down off the thigh of Strickling. Can't keep it. Spadano with a chance to create something. Just pops one over the top looking for Duncanson. Todd out on the edge of her area. Nice and quickly as she has been all day. When required. Looking to get Murdoch going again. Just doing too much with it there. Showing too much of it to Meekins. Meekins continues into the box. Duncanson will turn and take the shot herself. Doesn't catch it well. Hits a Murdoch defender. And away come the Murdoch. Good tackle to hold her progress. Finally, Nadia Harvey on the far side. 10 minutes or so left in this one. That's good, strong work in midfield from Connolly, isn't it? Doesn't come off for her, though. Oh, good body work initially to try and shepherd her opponent off the ball from Megan Holzman. Ball ran over the line. Perth took the throw and Murdoch settle on it again. Just struggling to string those passes together now, Perth. Perhaps tired legs, and there's a tired mistake, and that'll be a clear yellow card. Referee allows play to go on. And that is as easy a yellow card as Livia Cotona will ever have to give out in his career refereeing football. It was a tired mistake from the Perth midfielder. Led to a break for Mum FC, that the only way of halting it that she had on offer was to grab the shirt of her opponent. And again, another one that probably players and coach will accept and say, you did what you had to do. If they double this lead now, it's going to be a long, long way back. Despite how well Perth have played in this second half. If Murdoch score another, that could just break the backs. Connolly looks to win it back off Schubert. The referee allows play to continue. Lifted over for Byrne. Great pass, great control. Spatafor in space. Byrne will look for the fullback now. Maya Spatafor should get there first. She does. Cross was sliced by Maya Spatafor and almost caught out Monique Todd at the near post. But there's no catching out Monique Todd this afternoon. Would have been expecting the cross, had to react quickly when the cross turned into a shot. And was so fast with her reactions that it looked easy. McMurdo. She's found some dangerous passes. This is another one. Duncanson! Wide again. Todd's goal kick. Murdoch hanging on. McMurdo wins it down. Spadano. Zoe Spadano! Another good save from Todd. Slightly easier than the previous saves, but still had to get the job done, and she did. Flag for a handball. Strickling will take her time. Curl it down the line and over the line. Spatafor under pressure. Strickling doing really well. winning the ball and looking for Townsend. But Van Hurek will get there first. Perth can load up again. Can they find that equaliser? They've come so close on a number of occasions in this second half. Each one has produced either a stunning save from Monique Todd, or on one occasion they were rescued by the assistant referee's flag for a goal kick. Abby Meekins did find the back of the net, but the ball had already crossed the line before it was headed back across the goals for her to tap in. So close, yet so far at the moment for Perth. Here's another chance from the corner. Final minutes here. Spadano rolls it back out for a corner taker. Chance for Cook. No header straight up, but couldn't be roped in by Elise Shaw. It'll be another corner for Perth. They're going to take it short. Murdoch need to switch on. Oh, they thought about taking it short. Byrne takes. Spadano with time to tee one up. Straight onto the chest of Todd. The keeper is right up. Rebecca Bennett almost on halfway. Perth win it back immediately as Murdoch look to take advantage of that. McMurdo rolls it through. The Connolly back for McMurdo. Her shot is blocked. Spadano can't find an opening to squeeze it through, or Meekins that was rather. Coming away with it is Sophia Neal. And Hurek reads that well. She's been excellent today, the Perth centre half. Passing range and defending. Charging in there and winning the ball back, Samantha Mathers. Wainwright. That's what you want to see in the dying minutes with a 1-goal lead against a team that's making it very, very difficult for you. That sort of industry. Almost every set piece, every throw in ends up straight back with Perth at the moment. Connolly. Oh, poor ball from McMurdo. Tried to force that one. And I don't think it was on. Charging forward to try and win it high up the pitch was Spatafore. She misjudged it, but Byrne will mop up. Lots of space now opening up. McMurdo curls one. Misjudged. Just not working out for Perth at the moment, but Murdoch turn it over straight away again. Ball from Nadia Harvey was rushed when perhaps she didn't need to. And now Leanna Cook will make sure that Monique Todd has to pick up the ball. Well, she would stand there with it at her feet for the remaining few minutes we have. Kick is poor. McMurdo under it. Byrne. Spadano. Harvey now. Duncanson dropping short. They want her closer to goal. Spadano. Good touch there from Cook. Connolly looking to find a way through that maze. Pokes it out for Meekins. Harvey wide. Back for Spadano. Look how high they're pushing. Look how high the goalkeeper is for Perth. Inside the Murdoch half. And that'll be a foul in a really dangerous area. With a matter of seconds remaining until we head into stoppage time. Have not been a lot of stoppages in this second half. The ball has been in play for a good chunk of this 45, and it has been, for the most part, Murdoch, University Melville battening down the hatches and Perth trying to break their way in. Can they break their way in here? Spadano just drifting to the right, hit into the wall. It was close. And a chance now for Murdoch to break. Bennett is up, still inside the Murdoch half. A chance here. If Holzman can get her head up, she does get her head up, but doesn't get the contact she needed. And in the end, Bennett being up on halfway has won Perth possession back, forced that quick counter-attack, forced Murdoch to take the shot on early. If you're a goal down already, why not? Dogged defending from Murdoch. Anywhere will do. Bennett again to mop up. Not getting much to do in her own goal, so she's having to come out into the outfield to get some action. Murdoch drives around, gets clipped and carries on. Good committed running from the Perth number 11, but her cross is blocked. And jeez, that's... Well, I was going to say some composed defending there from Lucy Hope, but the ball just drifted over the line. Oh, and that's a horrible mistake. I can tell you I've made that mistake plenty of times playing five-a-side, just putting the ball down, trying to get it on quickly. Passing it straight out of play, but it's thrown straight back to Spadano. Zoe Spadano can't get a cross in. It's been good defending from Murdoch, but when they get the ball, they're just rushing to clear it. But Holzman wins it again. He's had a couple of good surging runs forward. Connolly tracking back, and that'll be a yellow card. Nothing more needed. Good decision from the referee. And again, like all the other yellow cards, they've been calculated attack stopping cynical fouls, all rightfully punished. Van Hewitt gets a good cross in, right on the edge of the 18-yard box, comes back out. Spadano's interested, nods it down, wins it at ground level. Harvey. Can't force it to Duncanson. Back to Harvey. Nice touch there from Harvey around Townsend. Mum FC hack it clear. Harvey will race back. Bennett almost operating as a centre half here in this second half. One in the air by Schubert. Cleared down the line and kept in play. That's as good as they could expect. Soak up a few seconds. Almost like a rugby kick for touch. McMurdo, Harvey. And Shurik just wider. Meekins, oh, mistake at the back. And I tell you what, if Cook was gambling, may have found it on a plate. There can only be seconds left. Time the enemy of Perth now. We've had over 2 minutes of extra time in a half that hasn't had much, or that won't require much. The whistle blows. This could be the last chance for Perth. Here we go. Long ball for Meekins. Oh, one well there by the Murdoch player, and they can stream forward and put it to bed. Just need to roll it into the corner and soak up some time now, surely. Connolly picks it up. Maybe one more chance for Perth. Byrne drifting forward now. Jessica Byrne could get on the end of this. She won't. And the ball may just end in the arms of Monique Todd. And that would be a fitting end. The player that did more than any other to prevent Perth from scoring when it looked like it was inevitable. Monique Todd came up with several spectacular saves in this second half. My player of the match by some distance. Perth were dangerous. They battled on, but Murdoch defended defiantly. And in the end, they win by that first half own goal. Unfortunate not to score with the initial header from Andrea Preato, but fortunate to score with the deflection down and off the crossbar and off the Perth player.
That own goal will be the only goal that's scored this afternoon. The final score, Perth Soccer Club 0, Murdoch University Melville 1. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back next week.
How many? What would you probably don't get at half time? It was about 11. About 25.
25
to about 3 or 4.
Yeah. That's one you take the 3 points, you run away.
There you go.
How are you? Yeah, good. And yourself? Pretty good, man.